Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people, and welcome. It is The Odds Couple, Chapter 5, Week 19 of the program. We got national championship implications this week.
I love implications.
Not even implications. It's the national championship.
Yeah, it just is the
There's
national
no implications.
championship.
Yeah,
Yeah, last
game.
week
No
there would have been
implications.
implications.
Implications last week, yeah. No implications.
Stop
Implication
implying.
is you win or lose.
Not even last week. Monday.
That's
implications.
Right. That's right. So we got that coming up this week. We got the National Football League. It is week number, what is it, 18?
18, final week of the regular season.
Final week of the regular season.
Interesting stuff in the Shield.
Two hardest
Lot of
weeks.
implications.
A lot of
implications.
There are. I
It
mean,
is implication
You've
week here
got
on
one
the Odds
team
Couple.
who has the third best odds to win the Super Bowl, and they may not even make the playoffs.
How about that?
The Buffalo Bills.
That is crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. A lot of implications in the Shield.
love 'em.
We'll talk a lot of Shield. Also a lot of bad games in the Shield because you don't know who's playing.
Yes.
This is
Including one of my picks.
Along with Week 1, this is the hardest week to bet in the NFL because there are just so many games that really don't mean anything.
We know
And,
too much now.
You know, like a Lamar Jackson's not playing. I
Yes.
mean, that's okay.
Joe Flacco's not playing.
One
Right.
of my picks is based on somebody
Implications,
supposed to be playing. Heard in an interview earlier this week that yes, going to play, and then announced yesterday after I sent him my picks, not going to play.
Oh,
That would be my quarterback Brock Purdy, but I'll still stick with the pick I have for that game.
there you go. I like it. All right, we got a lot. We got a lot to get into today here on the program. I'm Rob Fisher. Lang Whitaker is here. Hello, Lang Whitaker.
Hey.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
You got you ready for all the playoff scenarios?
I've got some scenarios.
Awesome.
So what's the scenario? I've got a few on the screen here ready to go.
Okay, perfect.
It's gonna take a whole segment to go through these. There's
I know,
a lot.
it's insane, and especially when you get down to the ones if they tie.
Yeah.
You can leave those out. John Roser, how are
Rob
you?
Fisher, how are you?
Good, man. We dressed alike today.
We got the memo.
That's
I
right.
did not.
That's right.
CJ did a wardrobe change. I was in the chat this morning.
Yeah. Whenever I have
wearing
to,
a T-shirt.
Yeah,
this
whenever I
morning.
have to double up, triple up, quadruple up on shows, I
Wardrobe
try and change clothes.
Just
So it's not the same thing.
Just call him a Beyonce concert.
It's a hoodie, Roser. Like, what do you mean?
Beyonce concert hoodie. Yeah.
I have to do when we do cooking with Lang. We always shoot like 2 or 3 at the same time. So we cook something. I go upstairs and change clothes.
Wardrobe
and we
change.
Shoot another one.
Yeah.
I go up and change clothes. We shoot another one.
Oh, TV.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Freaking Gordon Ramsay over here.
Crazy
right.
business.
Just get your chef's coat. How do you know? You need a chef's.
I should get a Grind City Media
Yes.
chef's code. That's a good
Put it
idea.
on the company card.
Yeah, put that on the card. No
Yeah.
question. Make that happen.
Cooking with Lane
Yeah.
logo and the Grind City Media logo.
Yeah.
With like a knife or something. Like
Yeah.
something like kind of
with a
badass.
bloody knife.
Yeah, that's good.
Like
yeah.
or like stabbing into a chicken or something like that.
Cutting the head off.
Yeah, something like that.
I like it.
A live chicken.
Yeah, let's order that this week. We got to order that this week for
Or
sure.
a chicken with a knife.
Yeah.
Chicken-
Yeah, I like that.
Well,
Ideas.
last week we had the Final Four teams in college football. Alabama, they are beaten by the Michigan Wolverines. Washington outlasts Texas. Both good football games. What's your takeaway from the weekend? It was fun.
Florida State's a bunch of quitters. That's my
Florida
takeaway.
State's a bunch of quitters. Yeah, it didn't take long to get there.
Forget those Seminoles. Get them out of here.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway.
My takeaway would be I didn't really see much of the Washington Texas game because it was like 10 o'clock when halftime happened.
Yeah.
So like I didn't see any of the second half of that game. I had been flew all week. Like I was like I'm going to bed early. Alabama Michigan, it was for most of that game. It is okay. Which one of these teams wants to lose the most? Because that's what it felt like with both of those teams. Just Michigan special teams, Alabama not being able to snap the ball ever, and now their centers transferring in the portal. I think that's more of waiver wire than his own decision.
So go to Colorado.
But I mean, I thought it was not a well played football game, But obviously, you had the drama in the fourth quarter, and the Rose Bowl's awesome. It is.
I thought
The
it
Rose
was-
Bowl's so cool.
I thought that game was like a good example of line play deciding a game, right? Like
Yeah.
when Georgia played Michigan, when Georgia played Alabama, Georgia tried not to rush Milroe, and they spied him with two guys, tried to play back. And then Alabama was like, screw it, we're just going to rush 4 and get pressure on Carson Beck, and we don't care. And against Michigan was like, all right, we're bringing everybody. And they were blitzing Milroe and not giving him any time to decide,
no time
nothing
to
to
throw
do.
the ball.
And then they were able to control the offensive line on
Yeah.
their side of the ball. And it was like the skill players that Alabama usually has, they don't seem to have those guys this
Yeah.
year on the edges and in the backfield. But their lines were enough to get them to where they were, but Michigan was just better.
And that's when I thought Alabama had success in the second half. I thought Michigan looked like a way better team in the first
Yeah.
half, and you looked up and it's only 13-10
Yeah, it was
at
close. That was
halftime, and
weird.
it's like, man, it feels like Michigan should be up double digits in this game right now. And in the second half, I thought, until that just very end,
Yeah.
I thought Alabama looked like the better team for the majority of the second half, but I also think Michigan stopped doing some of the stuff, especially in that third quarter, that made them successful in the first half. I thought offensively, Michigan was running a lot of guys in motion.
Yeah.
They were motioning a lot of guys in that first half, and you saw several times those Alabama linebackers were totally confused about, whoa, who's got who on this when all these guys are going in motion. And I think Alabama actually had success in the second half the times that Michigan, when they didn't blitz, because you look at the numbers when Michigan did blitz and they're off the charts.
Yeah.
Milroe had no time. And then when they didn't, they still were taking away that deep ball. And then Milroe in the second half actually decided where they had success. He's like, okay, I'm just taking off. Like, I'm just going to run.
I actually thought Alabama had it under control in the second half. And
that fumble.
Well, but to the point before the fumble, I was like, seems like this is over. Alabama's going to win this thing. And I hit record, and I left. And I went to go see Wonka with my son.
Oh, how was Wonka?
It's fine. It's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's a musical. They try to hide that part. It is a musical,
Gosh.
straight up.
Oh.
So if you want to go see Timothy Chalamet sing and dance, that's the movie for you. But anyway, I left the movie, and I checked. I was like, oh, wait, Michigan won in overtime? Because Alabama seemed to kind of have control of that thing in the fourth quarter, and then I went home and watched the tape, and I was like, oh, man.
And Michigan, look, you give Michigan all the credit in the world. Like, they had to go win the game, and they went and won the game. I mean,
Yeah.
the overtime was as bully ball as you can get. It was 2-run plays, Corum, and they're in the end zone. Yeah.
We have a Michigan man.
CJ
we have a
Hodges
Michigan
survived the day, man.
It was good. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Y'all know that. Laying to your point, you said Michigan, Georgia, when Georgia played Michigan, and then you corrected yourself. But let's go back
a
to
year
Georgia
ago.
playing Michigan 2 years ago
Yeah.
in the CFP. And it was, oh, my gosh, Michigan just doesn't have the dudes up front to compete on this stage. And what did Jim Harbaugh do? He went out there and got dudes to go out there and compete along the lines of scrimmage with some of the premier programs in the nation. Your Alabamas, your Georgias at the time, your Clemsons, throw Ohio State in there. Like, you need not just one or two. Texas has two of the best defensive linemen in the nation, but they don't have anything behind them or around them depth-wise. Michigan went out there, and they've got solid dudes, but they're running like 7, 8 deep. So they're running linemen on and off the field to try and keep them fresh for later in the game. And so when you have that happening with them, they're not getting beat down by that Alabama offensive front the same way because they're fresher. And so now you can do things where you're not just blitzing. It's not just the blitz. It is the stunts that accompanied the blitz that were really, really confusing for Alabama, specifically in the A gap with the guards. So there are twists happening. If you got a defensive tackle on your left, and all of a sudden he's sprinting as fast as he can to the right to be the right defensive end, and somebody is stunting back into you, that gets confusing. And Alabama didn't seem to know how to pass that off. They passed it off to the center, and in the second half, that's when the snap issues happen. First half, Michigan is sacking Alabama. 5 sacks in the first half. Second half, only 1. And it seemed like the interior of that Alabama offensive line figured something out. And what they figured out was, hey, Mr. Centerman, whatever your name is, can you get your head up quicker so you can block for us? Well, in his mind, he's thinking, okay, I got to block. Now these snaps are going all over the place because he's so
All over the
focused
place.
on trying to
He
block.
was like that all year. Like he was
There
bad
are tons
all
of
year.
that all year.
Yeah.
All year, Alabama had issues like
Yes,
that.
he was bad all year. It didn't help that
Michigan
he has
played
to.
on it.
Didn't
Yeah,
help.
yeah.
He had to think about it. Offensively, Rosa, you're right. When Michigan had success against Alabama, first half, second half, whenever it was, they audibled the play. They gave one formation before the snap, and then by the time the snap happens, it's a completely different formation. The 4th and 2
Where they got Corum out in the flat.
where they hit Corum in the flat. It was that
Yeah.
sort of thing where, hey, we've got the bunches out wide, bring them in, move Corum from the left to the right, and that confused
Yeah.
Alabama as well. So it's a game of chess, and it's a game of physicality as well. If the center snaps the ball the right way, that last play,
Yeah,
they
he was
might
open.
still be playing.
Right.
Because at the very least, you have the threat of the flat, and you could turn, pump fake, the defense moves to that, and now you can get the 2 or 3 yards necessary for the
They
touchdown.
had 2 blockers out there.
Yeah.
And the
That's-
defender was behind. It looked like it was a good play, but yeah.
But the snap was behind,
Yep.
and Milroe just planted and went, which he had success against Michigan, just going. Just, hey, don't dance, don't dilly-dally, take your front foot, make it your back foot, take your back foot, make it your front foot, you run that way. Just run straight. And he was able to gash Michigan a handful of times on that sort of a play. All in all, I thought it was a great game.
Yeah.
Again, it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. And the Michigan Wolverines are a 4.5-point favorite over Washington in the national championship on Monday. The total is 55.5. Couple of numbers. Michigan has won 14 straight. Washington has won 21 straight games. Michigan 8-2 against the spread in their last 10.
Wait. Washington has won 21 games in a row?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Longest win streak in the nation, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Kalen DeBoer.
Michigan 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. 8 of their last 10 have gone over. However, they're 2-11 against the spread. Their last 13 against Pac-12 opponents. 5 of their last 6 against the Pac-12 have gone under. Now, Washington, they are 5-0 against the spread as a dog, and 4 of their last 5 as a dog have gone under the total. I don't know. Maybe I haven't talked to enough people, but it feels to me like most people I have talked to like Washington this week. Why?
I watched the Washington Texas game. I watched the whole game. Got back from Wonka in time, and there was a lot of talk of people saying like, "Wow, why didn't Penix win the Heisman?" Like
This was the first time everybody saw Washington. Is that why everybody's excited about
that
him?
might be, but also like I wonder, like I don't know if people remember, like people who watched them this year, and I watched them a lot this year. He had a stretch of like 4 or 5 games where he was not good.
Yeah,
and,
not good
and
at
he
all.
was his arm. I don't know if he was injured or what.
He's healthy right now.
I think that's the main thing. He's healthy, and he also was running the ball today. Like he didn't run much this season. And last week he actually was taking off and running when it was there. And like I don't know if he was saving his legs or saving the hits for the playoff, but he was a different player in that game against Texas. And if he plays like that, I think that's why I feel pretty confident in
With
their
the
ability.
month off to prepare, your body gets healthy. He was not right after September. And so if you're not right up top, shoulders are aching, wrists, elbows, what have you, you're less likely to lower your shoulder and run as a quarterback. Month off to prepare, his body's healthy. He knows, I only got 2 more of these. So he's absolutely more willing to run.
Against Oregon State, he was 13 for 28.
Yeah.
You know, they won 22-20. There was a few of those games.
I will be the opposite way. I will bet Michigan. I have bet Michigan. Texas has like one of the worst secondaries in the country. Michigan does not have.
Yeah.
Michigan's defense is really good. Michigan is every bit as good on the defensive line as that Texas team is, and Michigan has a much better secondary. I think Michigan wins. I think Michigan's going to win by double digits.
And it's not just good along that defensive line because Texas is great on the defensive line because of the 2 studs that they have. Both of them should be drafted in the first 20 picks, I would guess. They have more than Texas did depth-wise also. And they can do more as far as stunts go.
Yeah.
We talked about
You
it in
love
the
stunts.
big stunt fan right
stunt
now.
guy.
Stunting like my daddy.
Big fan of stunts right now.
Stunt
Just
man.
seeing how they did it against Ohio State and Alabama. Like, I love them right now. So you couple the secondary that Michigan has, which is better than significantly better than Texas is, with a defensive line that is deeper than Texas is and able to do more things to give your offense problems. Like, I think that Michigan will do a fine job getting pressure, not just pressure on Penix. Texas got no pressure on Penix. Like, look at Pro Football Focus tracks this. They said that Texas got no pressure on Penix Jr. Michigan will get pressure on you, and as is evident in the Alabama game, they can get you on the ground. They got 6 sacks in that game. Granted, 5 in the first half, but who's the more elusive quarterback, Milroe or Penix Jr.? I would say Milroe, and they got him 6 times. So it's not just they can get to you, no matter how fast your release is. If those dudes aren't open, and that's the Michigan secondary, you're not going to be able to throw the ball anywhere. If you make Penix pat the ball and you hit him, no quarterback likes to get hit. Makes them real uncomfortable. I'm with Rosa on this. I think Michigan wins double digits. This game gets out of hand.
I think if they had Ohio, go back. Like, who has a comparable receiving core? If you can have a comparable receiving core to what Washington has, because they got 3 guys that are going to get taken to the NFL draft. It's Ohio State. Now, Penix is better than Kyle McCord. There's no doubt about that. He is better than Kyle McCord. But, like, those guys didn't. I mean, Marvin Harrison gets his because Marvin Harrison Jr. is awesome. So, like, Rome Aduze or whatever, like, he'll get his. I mean, he'll get his.
It's not just this
but
year's.
I think Michigan's going to run them. I don't think Washington's going to be able to block them. You say, well, they did against Oregon. This Michigan team is so much better than Oregon. They're going to be so much more physical. I think this is totally different. I think this is a different class right now.
And it's not just this year's Ohio State team. This Michigan team has the thorn in their side, bigger than the thorn. Yeah. The giant knife in their side for so long has been those great Ohio State teams. Yeah. Those teams that were loaded on the outside. And the biggest change that Michigan made, outside of maybe Connor Stallions, is letting Don Brown go, right? Like, Don Brown only wanted to play man. And you can't play man-to-man when receivers are that talented, that fast, and running crossing routes. And it routinely got gobbled up by Ohio State, Penn State, and other Iowa even got them a time or two. It's like, wait, Iowa? Are you serious? Michigan plays a diverse defensive scheme in the secondary as well. So you don't know whether or not it's man or zone. And if it's zone, that helps with the Penix run thing. It helped against Milroe because all eyes are on that quarterback. So when he moves out of the pocket, they know, okay, I can come downhill. So this Michigan team is built to beat Ohio State teams that are built similarly to this Washington team. Now, this year, that Washington team is significantly better than what Ohio State was this year. But the coaches have instilled a scheme in players on the defensive side of the ball to where they feel confident not just going out there and competing against a team with 3 wide receivers like Washington, but they go out there and expect to dominate because they know, hey, our coach is going to put us in positions to make plays. And when you have a defensive back like Sam Rustil, who is just a ball hawk in the secondary, I think you get a couple of turnovers as well from this Washington Huskies team.
All right, Leg and I have a pick on this game, so we'll save that for later. But Roser and CJ both going with Michigan by double digits. Michigan favored by 4.5 over Washington Monday night, total at 55.5.
By the way, before the show, we were talking about the transfer portal and all the movement that's been going on. Everybody's real high on Ole Miss. While we were doing this, Quinshon Judkins, their all-world running back, entered the transfer portal.
No.
He's out.
Well, there's a loss for Ole Miss.
I don't know. Georgia got ETN from Florida.
Which is hysterical.
I wonder if that Judkins kid goes to Alabama or something.
Yeah, probably.
All right. We'll take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, we'll get into the Shield. It's week 18 of the Shield. A lot of implications. We'll talk about them when we return here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
I'm freaking out right now, man.
Bain, a corner 3.
Nothing better. You know, I played in a bunch of different gyms, my only NBA team, of course, and, you know, I'm spoiled. The best fans in the league, for sure. The way that they embrace us, not just here in the building, but you know, even around the gym and around the city, and the love we get is second to none.
And that's it. That's a wrap. We out of here. Till next time.
I'm going to buy a whole grooming kit that includes a razor with the different size, you know, like guards so you can trim things for James Harden. Because it's time we shave the beard.
No, James
And
Harden, don't
no,
listen to him.
No,
Do not
it's time to shave the beard.
James.
James Harden needs to change things up. It's been a rough few years.
IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Real country music with Cody Johnson live Saturday, April 13th at FedEx Forum. Country's best. The Leather Tour with Cody Johnson. With special guest Justin Moore. Also featuring Drake Milligan. VIP and reserve seats on sale at Ticketmaster.com in the FedEx Forum box office. Cody Johnson.
Bull riding, the perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tours PBR Memphis at FedEx Forum, Saturday, February 17th. Tickets available at PBR.com and Ticketmaster. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Tune in Friday night to watch your Grizzlies battle the Los Angeles Lakers on Bally Sports Southeast and Bally Sports Plus at 9 p.m. presented by FanDuel. Fans want to tune in early at 8:30 for Grizzlies Live. It's presented by Ford and your Mid-South Ford dealers. You want to tune in to see Pete Pranica, Brevin Knight, and me. Check local listings in Grizzlies.com for channel guide. Grizz and the Lakers start of a 3-game road trip for the Grizzlies. They'll be in Los Angeles, then in Phoenix, and in Dallas before coming home next Friday. Welcome back, everyone, to The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. The Shield enters its final week of the year, week 18. And some games are more important than others. There are a couple games being played on Saturday. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Pittsburgh is a 4-point favorite at Baltimore. Why? Well, because Baltimore's Lamar Jackson's not playing. Baltimore has nothing to play for. Pittsburgh does have something to play for, though.
Yes, they do. There's like 20 things here.
Oh, no.
Pittsburgh can clinch a playoff berth if they win and the Bills lose, or if they win and the Jaguars lose or tie, or if they win and the Texans Colts tie, or if the Steelers tie, the Jaguars lose, Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie, or if the Jaguars lose, the Broncos win and the Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie.
So their best bet is for the
Just win.
Bills, win, and the Bills to lose to the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football, which the Bills have kind of had the number of the Dolphins in recent years, or
if the Jaguars lose.
That's the one. Because Jacksonville better be careful in that game, because Vrabel is not they're going to try to win. Like, Vrabel does not care about your draft. He does not care about the draft pick. Like,
He's trying to get that Patriots job.
He wants to win games, and he's going to coach the game. And the Titans have been they're like 4-2, 5-2 at home this year.
Yeah.
Way better home team this year.
The other game on Saturday does have a lot of playoff implications. The Texans are a 1.5-point favorite at the Colts. The total in this one is 47.5. Indianapolis 17-4 straight up at home against Houston. They've covered 8 of the last 11 against Houston. Houston, 5 of their last 7 have gone under the total. That total again of 47.5.
So the Colts can clinch a playoff berth with a win.
Right.
Yeah.
Or a tie, and the Steelers lose or tie. Or they can clinch the AFC South, the Colts can, if they win and the Jaguars lose or tie. Or the Colts tie and the Jaguars lose. So the Colts can either, if they win, both of these scenarios involve tying or winning. So
Right.
they just can't lose.
Yes. This interest you? Houston?
I've got a pick on it.
Oh!
I think a lot of us have picks on this game.
Both of them are 9 and 7.
Me and Fish both have picks on this game, and we're going in opposite directions on it.
Oh!
It's a fight.
That's a fight.
To the death.
Sunday, we got some excellent action. You mentioned it,
If
Roser.
I win,
Yeah. Death?
I get your Grizzlies
I'd kill you.
sweat that you're wearing. Your zip up sweat.
Sweatshirt.
Hoodie.
So you can have two of them?
Yeah. And if you win,
I'll get yours.
no, because you already have too much Grizzlies stuff.
I do. That's
Just
true.
wear.
You
You
can get
could
whatever
just,
Grizzly
you
stuff
could just
you
wear
want.
yours and tell people you beat up Fish and
Yeah,
took his.
this is actually Fish's. And I'll write your name. It'll be like in Billy Madison.
Yeah.
He's like, I
Right.
stole the shirt from Frank.
Yeah.
Frank's name is there. I'm just going to write Fish across here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
With a C.
Jaguars are in Nashville to take on the Titans. Jags a 5.5-point favorite. That total at 39.5. Tennessee, they're 10-2 at home against Jacksonville. 15 of their last 20 have gone under. 15 of their last 20 at home have gone under. Jacksonville 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games. Tennessee's had Jacksonville's number. I mean, wasn't it last year that Jacksonville, all they had to do was win against a bad Tennessee team? That was at home.
Josh Dobbs.
Yep.
Josh Dobbs beat him. That's
Man
right.
has played for like 5 teams since then.
Yeah.
It was the other way. Tennessee needed to beat Jacksonville. Whoever won that game was going to get into the playoffs.
It was the winner. The
And
team that
Titans
won
were
the
at home.
AFC South.
Titans were at home, and they lost to the Jaguars last year.
No, that game was in Jacksonville.
Was it?
Yeah, that game was at Jacksonville. Yeah. Because nobody thought the Titans had a chance to win that game because it was Dobbs. Like
They had rested players
And they
the week
were-
before. They
yeah.
were like, "Yo, screw it. We're not going to beat this team. We're going
and
to
they were
rest
on the
up
road
for that Jaguars."
and they almost did it. Be careful if you're Jacksonville. I don't have a pick on it, but I would say the like you said, the Titans good at home. They've been way better at home. One of those home losses this year, one of their 2 home losses, was an overtime game to the Texans that they had the game. The Titans didn't. They screwed it up.
They are 4-4 at home this year.
No, they're not 4.
Yeah, they are.
No, they haven't because they played 2.
The Titans are 4-4 at home and 1-7 on the road.
They have played multiple games that aren't home games because they played in freaking Germany and London and all those. So
Just telling you,
technically they haven't played that many home games. Yeah.
What's Jacksonville's playoff implication?
They just got to win
They got to win.
When they win the division.
or tie. So if they win or tie and the Colts Texans tie, they win the division. They get a playoff berth if they tie, Steelers lose, or Steelers lose, Broncos lose and tie, and Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie.
I hate all that crap. I'm just like, just tell me,
Math.
I need to win, and then this team needs to lose, and that team needs to lose. Like, cool.
It's another,
all right,
it's
cool.
another reason to get rid of ties.
No, I'm good.
It's a reason to
Yes.
get rid of math.
And math.
And math.
My son has to do math for school, and he has
He doesn't ask you for help.
long division and all this stuff, and he's like, why do I need to know this? And I try to say, well, in life, there's going to be times down the road where you might need to know how to do these things. Then I remember, like, well, now everyone has a calculator in their hand at all times, like, which we didn't have when we were kids, right? Like,
We actually had to learn how to do it.
we had to
and
buy
write
a
it all down.
TI-85 and calculator and all that
Yeah,
stuff. But
which we didn't do math.
this is
on.
why we
played
have to do
games.
math, to learn how
Playoff
to
scenarios.
Playoff scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the great rivalries in the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers are a 3-point favorite against the Chicago Bears this week. Bears have been
They've been
pretty
good.
pesky
Yeah.
here lately.
They
Beat the
have,
crap out of the Falcons.
That
last week.
total is 44.5, but Green Bay has owned Chicago 24-3 straight up last 27 meetings.
Yeah.
They've covered 9 straight. Chicago's lost 14 straight on the road on Sundays.
Yeah. This.
And it's only a 3-point line.
The Bears have been very frisky.
Yeah.
Frisky Bears team. Justin Fields has gotten a lot-
Confident.
Yes.
Bears have covered
he's-
5 of their last 6.
Looks a lot better. Which
Does
I
he-
kind of figured. I thought the
Does
beginning
he
of
look?
the season.
Does he look good enough to say, okay, we won't take a quarterback in this year's draft?
I mean, I think
let's see
so. I
what's
think
going
he
on with
looks
him.
good enough to,
Yeah.
if you wanted to. Like, why is, if you're just a big believer that Caleb Williams is like the next Patrick Mahomes or whatever, then by all means, draft Caleb Williams. But the rest of the guys, I don't know what those guys, why is Drake May and Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix, like, why are they better than Justin Fields? Like, I mean, go just rewind the tape to Justin Fields in college, and I mean, he looked every bit as good, if not better, than those guys did. So, Their defense actually looks like a real defense now. Justin Fields is not playing like Nathan Peterman, which I thought he would not eventually. I'm like, yo, this guy's been like Peterman bad at the beginning of the season. Like, he is not this bad.
He's playing like Jay Peterman.
And he's gotten better and better. They could use another number 2 receiver to go next to DJ Moore, because DJ Moore is legit.
Yeah.
Seemingly scores a touchdown every week.
Their offensive line's been pretty
Yeah,
good.
the offensive line's been better. And so you could trade out of that number 1 pick and get multiple picks, and you
Trade
can
him to
really
let him
build
go
some
home.
stuff.
Trade him to the Falcons.
Green Bay's got implications this week.
Well, if they win, they're in playoffs.
I like this Green Bay team. Sneaky dangerous. As long as Christian Watson's there, you've seen the difference. When Christian Watson has not been there at wide receiver, their offense does not look the same. Aaron Jones is finally healthy, finally healthy. But you get Aaron Jones healthy, you got Christian Watson healthy to go with those other guys they've got, and Jordan Love looks a lot better when they're there. So
if the Packers tie and the Seahawks lose or tie, they're probably in.
Probably in. Probably, or they are.
Does it say probably?
No. If the Packers tie, the Seahawks lose or tie, and the Saints lose or tie, or the Packers tie, Seahawks lose, and the Broncos lose, or
My
the
brain
Packers
is a
tie,
mess.
Seahawks tie, Broncos lose or tie, or Vikings lose or tie, Seahawks lose, Broncos lose, or Vikings lose or tie, Seahawks loss, Saints loss.
Wait, I don't understand. Why are the Broncos involved in this?
Why are the Broncos?
They're in a completely different
Oh, wait, it's Buccaneers. I just read it wrong.
Oh, the Buccaneers. Okay. Yeah, wait, why are the Broncos in this?
That was really a confusing one.
I
The
really do
Broncos.
want someone from the NFL who has to put all this stuff together. I really do want them one day to be like, this is so ridiculous. Like, this is so stupid. And they do what Lang just did.
Yeah,
And they
just
said, if this
get the
happens,
right
this
word.
happens, you're probably, then they're probably in. I'm tired of typing out the other scenarios. If this happens, then this happens, yeah, they're probably in.
The most straightforward one, there's two that are pretty straightforward. Like the Falcons can win the NFC South if they win and the Buccaneers lose. That's it.
Right.
Those are the only scenarios. They have to beat the Saints. Buccaneers are playing the Panthers. So
By the way, Derek Carr has thrown multiple
Falcons probably aren't
touchdown
going to win the
passes
NFC South. How
in
about
like
that?
4 or 5 straight games. Derek
Or
Carr.
the Dallas can win the NFC East if they win. They win. They win the NFC East. Or if they tie and the Eagles tie, or the Eagles lose. Like, those are pretty straightforward. Yeah, the other ones all involve like 28 other things.
What about the game of the weekend, Buffalo, Miami?
Let's see.
I like the Bills.
That one's pretty simple too.
Bills win, they win the AFC East, they get the 2 seed. The Dolphins win, they win the AFC East, they get the 2 seed.
If the Dolphins tie, they win the AFC East.
If the Dolphins if they tie, they
They
win
have
the
the
AFC East.
tiebreaker.
Here's what we want we want the Bills, I think, for entertainment purposes. We want the Bills to win. Dolphins are banged up like they are. They're freaking getting destroyed and having Bradley Chubb in there in the final minute. He tears his ACL or whatever it was. That's horrible. They've got offensive line problems because they've been banged up. Mostert didn't play last week either. Bills win. Bills win the AFC East. They get the 2 seed. Because then I think Miami would fall to the 6 seed, and we get first round Miami at Kansas City, Tyreek Hill back to KC, and then he reminds the Chiefs, well, you could have had me.
Yeah.
You still could have had me. Like you got all these receiver problems, and you still could have
A
had
lot
me.
of receiver problems.
Yeah, a lot of receiver problems there. So I that would be
Taylor versus Tyreek.
that would be a crazy fun first round matchup.
What's the
Chiefs and Dolphins?
What's the scenarios the Bills don't make the playoffs? Lane?
They lose.
They
and the
lose
Steelers
and the
win.
Steelers win. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that all that needs to happen?
It doesn't say. It's just what they'd have to do to make it. So
If
they win,
So what's the Steelers?
if the Bills
If
win,
what's if the Steelers
Let's find
win
the
and the
Steelers.
Bills lose, the Bills are out.
the
I
Steelers,
believe.
Pittsburgh clinches a
Probably.
playoff berth with Steelers win and a Bills loss,
Or
Is that a factor? Or is that probably? Is that
or
probably?
Steelers win and a Jaguars lose or tie, or Steelers win, Texans Colts tie, or Steelers tie, Jaguars lose, Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie. Or that's the first time I've seen that, doesn't end in a tie. Or Jaguars lose, Broncos win, Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie. There's the Broncos. That one's Broncos.
The Bills, have you seen? There isn't this season. They are by far the lowest floor, highest ceiling team in the NFL. Like, there are games where it is, And they do it every game where they make some of the dumbest mistakes ever. And it's like, what the hell is this team? Like, what's going on? And then they have games where it's like, holy crap, they look like the best team in the NFL. Like, there's just so much variance.
Won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Miami 11-1 straight up at home. Their last 12 on Sundays at home. And however, as you mentioned, Roser, Buffalo's had their number 1-10 straight up against Buffalo in the last 11 meetings. 8 of the last 11 against Buffalo have gone over the total.
Buffalo kills their defense. Buffalo's killed their defense. So if you want to look at the over, too.
But Buffalo 3-9 against the spread their last 12. Like I said, they've played in a lot of close games.
They killed the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They had the game against the Eagles, and they blew it. They win the Kansas City game. They covered that one.
Yeah.
And then the Patriots just like seemed to play them tough because they looked like crap against the Patriots, and they lost to the Patriots earlier this year.
Yeah.
Wait, when did we talk about them? Frisky team.
Patriots?
They've been frisky the last like 5-6 weeks. Frisky.
6 weeks.
Frisky.
Roser, it's 1 week left in the season. Why do we need to talk about the Patriots?
Because
Their season is done.
Because maybe I'm telling you to take a -2 against the Jets on Sunday.
No, that's what it sounded like to me.
I mean, it's the Jets. Trevor Siemian over half an interception. Take it.
Take it.
Take it. My God. That's got to be the easiest bet ever. That, or if Joe Flacco is playing, you take the over on his interception
everybody,
prop.
get your free picks ready because we got free picks when we come back.
Oh,
we got our picks for the week, and then we got free picks for the day coming up as well here on what is this? Odds Couple. Odds Couple on here on Grind City Media. We're back to this.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send your favorites to the 2024 All-Star Game in Indy.
Bain, a fallback three. Jones drives and denied by the defensive player of the year. Morant in the lane, spins, hangs, floats. It's good! Morant wins the game.
Head to NBA.com, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizz to the 2024 All-Star Game.
Memphis. Where you at?
Where you at? Where you at?
Where you at?
Friday Night SmackDown is where it's at. Live in Memphis, Friday, March 15th. Tickets and ringsider packages on sale now.
One of the most influential metal bands of all time. For the fans, for the brothers, for legacy. Pantera. Saturday, February 10th, FedEx Forum. With special guests, Lamb of God. On sale now at livenation.com. Pantera, live in concert.
10 feet ahead of you, catch me in something you'll never do. I turn around and I level you, no motivation is needed. Look, I put myself on the pedestal, this is incredible.
Take your fandom to the next level with the official Grizzlies app. Go all access and behind the scenes.
It's got to be heavy defense. That's where it starts for us.
Personalized to where you are and who you are. Get easy access to ticketing, the game day guide, and your own app customization right at your fingertips. Upgrade your experience and download the Grizzlies app today.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Download the official Grind City Media mobile app. Explore new ways to access your favorite GCM content from your favorite shows and series to news and entertainment. Stay connected with exclusive content at your fingertips with the new Grind City Media mobile app.
Content.
Roser loves content and apps.
Sometimes.
The Grind City Media mobile app is available in both the Apple and Google Play stores. Check it out.
Check it out.
Very easy to access all these programs. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Odds Couple, Chapter 5, Week 19. Week 19, National Championship Week. We've discussed it. We've talked about the Shield, Week 18 as well. It is now time for picks.
Picks!
Here on the show.
No Nuggets today?
No, I don't have any Nuggets.
All right.
I've kind of lacked on the Nuggets here recently. Just because there are not many games. I'm more of a college Nugget guy. Let's get to my picks. Here's what we got. I'm going with the Washington Huskies.
Let's go.
Plus the 4.5 against Michigan.
He likes college Nuggets. What are you gonna say?
I thought. We're doing real picks.
Real picks.
Washington 5-0
later.
against the spread as a dog. They make it 6-0. They beat Michigan straight up, but I'll take the 4.5. Texans minus 1.5 at Indianapolis. Texans are 7-3 against the spread on the road. They've been a good road team. They have the better quarterback. Texas wins. Jags minus a 5.5 at Titans. History has not been on the Jaguars side, taking on the Titans. I think they're a much better team now, however, and they've covered 9 of their last 11 on the road. I'm taking the Cardinals plus the 2.5 against the Seahawks at home because why? They were pesky last week. That's why. Frisky Cardinals last week. They were fun to watch when they beat the Eagles. I think they'll take care of business against Seattle, even though there's not one single trend that would tell me to do so. And the Dolphins plus the 3 against the Bills. Dolphins 9-3 against the number at home. They're just a much better home team. I'm going to take the Fish plus the 3 against Buffalo. Lang.
Right. Well, I'm going with the Washington Huskies as well. That game against Texas, the ending of it was a little misleading. It shouldn't have been that close. The Washington guy got injured, and they had to stop the clock, and Texas got the ball back and all that. Like, Washington should have won that thing going away. And I think against Michigan, Penix is going to be dropping some dimes against that secondary and running the ball a little bit, making some good decisions.
Are so good catching
the receivers are great. I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be double digits either way. But if you're giving me 5 points, I'll take it. Or 4.5, so I'll go with the Huskies. Falcons Saints. Falcons have been getting me wrong every week. The most Falcons thing ever would be to win this game. They beat the Saints by 9 points a couple of weeks ago. So I think Falcons are going to win this game and still not make the playoffs because the Buccaneers are going to beat the Panthers, the hapless Panthers. These last 3 games, like I don't even know who's playing. Mainly the Steelers game, I'm just picking against Mason Rudolph. And then Lions, Vikings, I've just been rolling with the Lions all season. And then Raiders, I like Antonio Pierce. So those are my picks.
All right.
CJ.
I'll give you picks. I'll give you thought-out reasons. I thought about these picks, but go ahead and fade me. 8-21 on the NFL this year. Fade it. We'll start with the Steelers minus a 3.5 against the Ravens. I'm not sure if the Ravens play anybody in this game. If they do play them, it won't be for very long. I don't think they are
playing anybody.
Right,
no.
And the Steelers need to win to get into the playoffs. I'll take the Steelers there. Jacksonville needs to win to get into the playoffs, so I'll take the Jags minus a 5.5 there. The Bucs, same sort of thing, and the Panthers are horrible, so give me the Bucs minus a 5.5.
Baker might not play. That's the one thing.
2.5, the Seahawks are favored by, and the Cardinals, although they beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
They did beat the Eagles. But the Seahawks, I'm picking a lot of teams based on, hey, who needs it the most? Who needs to get into the playoffs? And, Lang, who's playing at home? And the Seahawks fit that mold. I will take the Dolphins, a home team but a home dog. I think that they beat the Bills. The Bills have been an enigma of a team to follow. If you followed them this season, they've been really, really good in moments. They've been bad in moments as well. I think we get bad Bills against this Dolphins team. So give me the Dolphins plus the 3, and I think they win that one outright.
All right. Roser.
All right, let's go. I'm taking the Lions minus the 3 against the Vikings. The Lions still have a shot at that 2 seed. They play early, so the Cowboys Commanders are not till late, so the Lions are going to try to win. It also knocks a division rival out of the playoff consideration completely if they win the game. I like the Lions there. I'm going to take the Colts. The Colts are the team that will screw up what you want to see, which is you want to see C.J. Stroud in the playoffs, right? Yeah. No. Gardner Minshew is here to ruin that. Colts are the home team. I'm getting the 1.5. They will find a way to screw this up for everybody and win the game outright. I'm taking the Colts. I thought Brock Purdy was playing. Deebo Samuel said on Kay Adams' show that the plan was the starters were going to play a little bit in the game against the Rams. So I took that as they're going to play the first half. I'll still roll with it because I still think a lot of the other guys are playing. McCaffrey's obviously not because of the calf thing. But Eli Mitchell, Jordan Mason, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Ayuk, they got enough weapons there. And the Rams are playing nobody. Aaron Donald's not playing. 49ers first half team total over 12.5 against the Rams on Sunday. The Cowboys win and you get the 2 seed. The Commanders are god-awful. And the Cowboys, what is one thing we know about them?
They're good against awful people?
They destroy awful teams. So I'm gonna lay the 13 for the Cowboys on the road at the Commanders. And then the 49ers, we didn't even play that well the other day. We beat them by 17. You don't really have to do that much to kill that team. Sam Howell's going to throw it to you at least twice if he's able to play and it's not Jacoby Brissett. And then I'm going to take the Bills. They've owned the Dolphins. It's Sunday night. I know it's in Miami. But the Bills, they've got to win. They have to win. They're going to want that 2 seed. The Dolphins are in the playoffs. They're in there. I also think the Dolphins too banged up. We're taking the Bills. We're laying the 3. I'm glad I got that Colts pick in there because otherwise it's a little chalky. So it looks like my skin. Looks like my skin. A little chalky.
Anybody willing to give a free pick on the Memphis Tigers 9.5-point favorite tonight at Tulsa?
I was looking into this. Tulsa's 9-3.
Yep.
They're playing Tulsa tonight. Tulsa's won 5 of their last 6 and 4 in a row.
Yeah, Tulsa's. I don't
Tulsa's
like
at
this.
home.
I don't love the way the Tigers have been playing either.
And Memphis is 9.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I don't like the way the Tigers have been playing.
I think I might.
I'm not a fan of the way they've been playing ball. I don't think they've been playing good ball.
1-8-1 against Tulsa. Their last 10.
Yeah, matchup problem.
But I think the play is the over here. Over the 154. Tigers on the season are 9-4. Their overs have hit 9 of their 13 games that they've played.
Tulsa scored 95.
Tulsa 6-5 on the year as far as over-unders go. That combines for 15 and 9, I do believe, on the year over unders in team total. So I'll take the over the 154.
What do we say when you don't know what to do?
Root for points.
Take the over and root for points. I got a free pick here for you.
Free pick.
We're gonna go because this is actually not a live show. We're recording today because Fish has a plane to catch.
No.
Yeah.
No,
sorry, am I not supposed to spill
way to ruin the
state
surprise.
secrets?
This
not
isn't
spilling
live?
state secrets. Well, I have to say this for my pick because the pick I want to give, it will have already happened.
What?
We're going Friday morning. Handball.
Here we go.
Sweden minus 7.5 against Japan.
Minus 7.5. Minus 7.5 what?
Minus 7.5 points.
Runs?
Yeah, goals. Whatever. Balls.
We don't know.
Handball.
7.5
We're doing handball.
handballs.
We're taking Sweden over Japan. Minus 7.5. I love this play. This is a size disadvantage here. Sven Speed, led by Sven Speed.
Sven
Speed. The Swedish team, a tremendous height advantage over the Japanese.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen the Japanese soccer team. Not a lot of height there.
Same sort of thing.
Same sort of thing with the handball
All
squad.
the tall guys are playing handball, though.
No, they're not. Not for Japan. I'm not trying to. Japan's not known for exactly having a lot of people that are like really tall.
Let's do it.
You know? Yeah. So we're taking Sweden.
Sweden. It's minus 7.5? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
minus 7.5?
The total's
and that's Friday morning?
That's Friday morning, 9 a.m.
I'm getting in on that.
Get up early.
I'm getting in on that.
There's also, you could take, I went back and forth on Hungary and the Czech Republic. Okay, here's another one. Love
Like
this one
Napoleon.
also, but this one's going on today, so you may have to get a live line. Bosnia, minus the half over Argentina.
Oh.
In handball?
In handball.
Is this like the World Cup of handball or something?
Messi's, it's an international friendly.
Okay.
Messi's not walking through that door.
Yeah.
If he was, he'd use his feet.
And I don't like betting against Eastern Europeans. That's just
That's
a
a good rule.
Life rule.
It's like root for points. Don't bet against Eastern Europeans.
Especially in anything that's physical. Where it gets physical. Like, I'm not betting against the Eastern Europeans.
Free bets?
I don't have any particular picks, but some player incentives to keep an eye on. If you want to do that, DeAndre Hopkins, 49 yards receiving, will get him $1 million, $500K if he plays more than 75% of the team snaps on the season. He's at 72% so far this year, so he's absolutely going to play. He's going to play a lot, and I would imagine they try and force feed him.
Unless the GM says, no, you're not playing.
Beckham Jr., 5 catches gets him $250,000. Austin Eckler, 110 yards gets him $100,000. Clowney and Chris Jones both need a half sack respectively. For Clowney, a half a sack will get him $750,000 at least. And for Chris Jones, a half a sack will get him $1.25 million. So
also, it sinks. He got released. I showed Lang this at the Spurs game. He got released, so it can't happen. Dalvin Cook would have triggered $500,000. He needed 1,000 rushing yards in Week 18.
1,000.
He needed 1,000. He needed to get 1,000 rushing yards in one game, and he could have gotten.
All right, I got two free picks for tonight. Yeah, we got Penn State, Michigan State over.
I thought about that one.
Over 146.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that
a
lot.
All right.
Are they scored?
I
Both those teams
also
scored?
like Michigan State. I think Michigan State is like minus 11.5 or something like that. I can't remember. I like Michigan State.
Michigan State score a lot.
They will against Penn State. Right, that's coming from Michigan State side of things. Michigan State is going to put up some points.
Is Penn State just horrible defensively?
They're not good enough to guard Michigan State.
Okay.
Sorry, Darnell.
Over 146, Penn State, Michigan State, and on the ice.
Oh, still sticking puck.
Kraken taking the Kraken over the Senators tonight. Kraken over the Senators. So Penn State, Michigan State over 146, and the Kraken over the Senators.
I got to find a hockey pick.
Yep.
Let me find a hockey. Oh, and Penguins plus 1.5 on the road at the Bruins. The Bruins are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Don't care.
Especially at home.
Don't care. You saw what happened the last time someone wore a Sidney Crosby jersey?
What?
Kyler Murray on Sunday wore a Sidney Crosby jersey into the game against Philadelphia, walking in the stadium.
Beat him.
And look what he did.
Beat him.
You don't bet against Sid the Kid.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Odds Couple. Enjoy the National Championship Game this weekend, the final week of the regular season in the National Football League. Next week on the show, we will be talking about the Shield playoffs. Yeah.
I love
playoffs.
Playoff time.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Yes, playoffs. That's coming next week here on the show. That'll do it for us this week. For CJ, for Roser, for Lang, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy all the games this weekend, and good luck with all your bets. Until next week, this is the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
You've been listening to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Tune in next time with Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.